In this video, I will show how you can check yourself if you have diastasis recti. To do that, first lie down on the floor and bend your knees. Then raise your head, but without raising your shoulder from the floor. So do not try to do something like crunch. We do not do crunches. We want that your muscles, that your abdominal muscles will engage. And to do this, just raise your head. Put your hands on your belly so you start feeling when you have the pressure. So now I have everything is relaxed. But then I start raising my head and I feel here the tension of my abdominal muscles. After that, as you learned, so we have the diastasis is a gap separation in the middle of the sine ulna, and we want to check how wide or how thin, how weak it is, like how much resistance it has. So what you do, you try to find it where it is. Yeah, so you can start at your navel and then go from the navel and then try to do check it here and see how wide it is, whether it's like 1 finger wide or 2 wide or maybe like the whole hand, so it will depend on the severity of it. Right, and then try to even maybe push them apart and see what happens. Can you do this, or they are very, if your muscles are very soft and you can freely move it, or if you have the tension there, right? So check it your navel and then go up and then check down on your belly. And what you want to see, how wide, but also how deep you can push your fingers, because the deeper you can push it, even if your gap is very small, it means the less tension you have, and so you definitely need to do specific exercise and to strengthen your core. But if you have a small gap, maybe like 1 finger, and you have enough resistance, it means that you do not have diastasis. So now we checked it. Now if you were doing your postpartum recovery, you probably know how to breathe correctly, how to engage your core and your pelvic floor. So you try to do this and then you repeat the same test and you see what has changed. If you have more or less resistance, did it get better or worse? This way we can check the functionality of our core. So you checked everything in your belly, if you have diastasis or not, but how do you interpret the results? So the official statement is diastasis and is when you have 2 finger wide gap between your straight abdominal muscles, but there is also difference. For example, if you have we can have someone who has 2 finger gap or maybe like a 3 finger gap or more, but when they do the test, when they engage their core, then they cannot push the fingers deep into the belly, and because they have enough of resistance, and even if they correctly engage the core, so the extra engaging of core and pelvic floor muscles, they have even more tension. It means that someone, even if they have diastasis, it is completely functional diastasis, they can live with it, they can do all the different activities and even crunches if they are able to engage the muscles correctly. But what happens if we have maybe even 1 finger gap, but so officially it is not diastasis, but your tissues are very soft, you can push your finger very deep in the belly, so it is, while it is officially not diastasis in that sense because of the gap, but your core is not functional, your core is very weak, you have to strengthen your muscles, and at the end That's why I say it's not about the gap, it's about how your core functions and whether or not you are able to coordinate the muscles correctly. If you did your self-check and you still have no idea what to do, what kind of exercises to do, then apply for my one-on-one coaching, and where I will guide you step by step through the whole recovery of your core. And let's work together, let's bring your body back, let's bring your core back to the even the better state as it was before pregnancy.